from basics and beginnings up to intermediate and hopefully advanced. Alright, so I've been saying that for a while, and here's what I mean by it. So I say from basics and beginnings, so pretty much I know like what materials needed at the basics beginner level. Hence the reason why I shared on the Patreon. You can get it from other places as well. So hiragana, katakana, basic vocabulary if you need it to go through, let's say Takem or Core 2K, or if you've got Tango books in through that way. Then basic kanji, some more basic vocabulary, some intermediate kanji, some intermediate vocabulary, some more intermediate kanji, some more intermediate vocabulary. Then we get into the advanced levels. So I'm in the intermediate stages. So when I say hopefully advanced, it's like, okay, what I'm hoping to get to. If you don't know Japanese, my level looks really advanced. If you do know Japanese, you realize it's not all that great. And so when that's why I try to temper it. Alright. So today, the same as before, it's a Let's Read Japanese. So up above is going to be playing the show that I'll be reading, which is Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood, episodes 23 and 24 today. Off to the side is going to be the transcript I'll be reading. They're just rips of the subtitles put into the text format. And yeah, off to the... And then off to... And if I see a word I don't know, I pause the audio and look it up in a pop-up dictionary. About as simple as I can put it. Alright, let's see. We got Irma Louise saying, "Hey, Grandpa." Alright, yep, not a grandpa yet, actually, oddly enough. Got kids old enough to have kids, but they don't have kids yet, so still not a grandpa. Old enough to be one, though. Yeah, definitely looking. Do I have great grandkids? Yeah, I've got a great great niece, great nephews. So I do have that. So like my sister's kids have had kids, so there's that. So she's the grandmother, I'm not. What about my brother? Actually, I don't even think yeah, not my brother. So yeah, that's how that goes. Cool. What else am I thinking? So what I was doing yesterday, I was talking about it, and I'm thinking, so I will be doing it, by the way, is what I had been doing was starting off right about before the half-hour mark was doing Anki reviews. So here's my Anki deck, do some reviews while doing it. Seemed pretty cool while it was mainly kanji, because that's the easiest way to show, okay, here, oh yeah, I know what it means, and cool. Yeah, there you go. If it's vocabulary, yeah, I can do it, I can tell you what it means, but, you know, it kind of feels like a lot of things with vocabulary, kind of like, I prefer like how it feels versus, you know, like whether or not I actually have a good English description of it, whereas I remember how this word is used in context, which I prefer. So it's kind of hard to convey, like, whether I know it or not, other than just saying, yeah, I know what it is. But yeah, with kanji, it's pretty straightforward. Either I know how to write it or I don't. What was the other thing? However, what I was thinking of is start doing Let's Reads of the news. So to start off, before going into the books, like just play Yahoo News, some clips from Yahoo News of the top videos of the day, and yeah, read over those. So, you know, play the video, read the transcript while the video plays. Same as I'm doing here, but just like with news. Because as you get to more advanced levels, you can't just depend only on, I don't think you should just depend only on literature, even though that you do quite well just with the literature. But getting to where you can comprehend the news is going to be very effective. You want that skill. You want that. And, you know, it's a skill you can train, but also, you know, it's good in that you kind of get a heads up on how Japanese report the news, which is maybe is going to be different than what you probably notice in your native language. You know, especially English, the way the 24-hour news cycle reports news. Alright, Kudo Kupo, I just got a VPN to watch Japanese Netflix. Do you know a good way to get the audio from Netflix for pass-through immersion? I rip it. I use a program called Play On, and it's a paid service, but you know, it's not too much for a yearly amount. You know, you got other programs that can do it as well. Just I haven't had too many problems with Play On, and you know, I just download the videos. So that, you know, again, it's perfectly legal, by the way. I mean, at least in the U.S. The reason is because the Supreme Court said way back when it came to videotaping, like recording a broadcast from national news was perfectly fine. It's called delayed viewing, and that's perfectly fine to do. What the heck? Give me a second. Moshi? Amazon delivery. Okay, so I'll wait till she shows up, get the package, and then go with it. So anyway, hopefully that answers your question. So yeah, like what I'll be doing, I'll still be doing the Anki reviews for a little bit, but then later on, probably after the first half, like Harry Potter, I'm thinking of like instead of doing it in 2/3, I'll probably do it in half, and because that's still under 10 hours. Each half will still be under 10 hours as far as audio is concerned, and you know, go into that. We'll see how that works. What else am I looking at? Yeah. Anyway, so I think that should work. So I'll probably be done with caught up with all those RTK reviews on Anki. So let's bring up Anki real quick. Well, kind of takes about a minute or so to get from the elevator to this floor, since I'm on like above the 20th floor. But let's see, kanji. Okay. Get started. Okay, probably should get a new. Oh, yep, there she is. So I'll be right back. There we go. I have no idea what these are. Yeah, you hear about porch pirates in the States and all the time, but I haven't really had that issue here. At least I haven't. Although, of course, I live in an apartment building, so if they can't get it to the door, then they got a little security box. You can actually, large security boxes you can put them into for people to pick up later. So, yeah. I think it's one of the problems is that by federal law, Amazon cannot use the mailboxes, and it's not mail, so it's not protected under federal law. You know, and you know, never mind. I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, let's get started. Cut Kiru. And these are very basic kanji. Don't try to read too much into it. And if you look like I said, I'm not going to see this for 4.5 years. So I mean, oh wait, I forgot to do the one thing I like doing. Yeah, I like reading the words. So it's got kiru, taisetsu, important, kireru, cut well, shinsetsu, kind shinsetsu na, kite, that's postage stamp, yeah, and urikire sold out, cool, awesome. All right, car, kuruma, easy. Okay, cool. Kuruma, densha, train, jitensha, bicycle, jidosha, automobile, chushajo, parking lot, kyukyusha. So the kyukyusha, just make sure you got the, you know, aid or salvation quickly car. Salvation quickly car. All right. Anyway, relax. Yeah. So this is one where the relax doesn't help me, right? But the Yasui is like, oh, okay, yeah. There we go. That makes it kind of obvious now. Cool. Alright, so Yasui, cheap, Anzen, safety, Anshin, calm, peace of mind, there we go. Yasupoi, cheap looking, tacky. Huan, not tacky, uneasy, worry. And then Ante, stable, or, yeah, stable. Cool. Empty, karo. Wait, make sure, yeah. Sky. So I would think this is more for sky for myself, but yeah, empty, karapo. There we go. Cool. So we got tsuku, be emptied, be like soda, sky, kuki, atmosphere, kuko, that's sky harbor, so that's an airport. Koku bean, delivery by air delivery, and aozora, bright blue sky. Okay, cool. Lightly, karui. That's where I think the thinking of this primitive as toilet paper works out well, because just a car with toilet papers can roll lightly. You know, you can just imagine roll over you lightly. You can just imagine that. Yeah, so crotch and dirt, toilet paper just makes sense. Anyway, karui, light, kigaru, kigaru na, easy. Tegaru, simple to do. Keibetsu na, not like a, yeah, okay, despise, contempt. Keikai, keikai, okay, and keisotsu, okay, cool. I don't know those. And again, like I've said, like, don't worry if you don't know the words, who gives a shit. These are used for context. Just context. And it's also kind of nice, like, oh, do you now know these words or not? Okay. Yeah. Direction. That's Boy Scout, like, or compass. But I think Boy Scout is a better visual. There we go. Cool. Okay. Alright. Ho, direction side. Hoko, direction. Shikata, way of doing something. Ryoho, both ways. Yugata, it's evening, right? And then Mikata, perspective. Harmony. Harmony. Oh, wow. Wheat and mouth. Heiwa. It's also my wife's name, so. Alright, so Heiwa, peace, harmony. Fu, Wafu, so it's Japanese style. Washoku, Japanese food. Washitsu, Japanese room. Showa, that's a period of Japan. That's just the Showa area. Then Kyowa. And also now it's Reiwa. The period today is Reiwa, so that would also be here. Thank them. Now make sure you're doing the right type. So this is a mole. Because sometimes I might mix this up with the idea. But yeah. So. Okay, cool. Omoidasu. Omoide, memory. Okay. Fushigi, strange, mysterious, boring. Okay. Omowazu, without thinking. Unintentionally, there we go. Shiso, thought concept, cool. Memorize. Oboeru, so memorize everything you see in school. There's also recollect, but yeah, we make sure this is oboeru. This is a very ugly. I wrote that really ugly. So, sorry about that. Oboeru, sameru. That's like waking up. Samasu, wake up also. Kankaku, not the feel. Okay. Kyoboe, mioboe, to memorize what you see, right? Recognition, remembers. Okay. Kakugo, preparation, readiness, resolution. Pain. Itayo, itai. Alright, and that's hammer, or a tool. Sometimes I think of it as a jackhammer. But yeah. Itami. Kutsu. Okay, itamu. To feel pain. Zutsu, headache. And itamashi. Heartbreak. Itamashi. Okay. There we go. Possess. This is you, Aru. Okay, the first stroke goes down, by the way. Just remember that. Because the first stroke of the inside character goes down. That's how that works. Oh, yeah, let me just show you. Oh, god damn it. Stop that. Okay, so you got Aru, exists, there is. Yume, famous. Shoyu, ownership. Okay, cool. Yuko, effective, valid. Okay. Yuri, advantage, powerful. Okay. Yurio, free, without charge. Murio, without charge. Yurio has charge. There's a fee. Cool. Invariably. Kanadazo. Alright, so stroke order, also pay attention. You do the so, like pretend like you're doing the katakana for so. Then the remainder. So you can't draw it like you do heart. You cannot do it that way. So stroke order is kind of weird. There's invariably. Alright, so yeah, so let's do the so, and then 1, 2, 3. Oh, shit. Let me do this again. Yeah, so that stroke order is all out of order, but yeah. Hitsuyo, kanarazu, so need, kanarazu, without exception, kanarazu shimo, kanarazu shimo, not always, okay. Hishi, like, desperate, hitsuzen, necessity, inevitably, hishi, desperately, Yeah, I like to use, I was always using Randall from Monsters Inc. as my visual for that character, that kanji character. Feelings, feeling blue? That's just how I think about it, so I just, stupid little, I don't like word mnemonics too much. I mean, visual mnemonics work better. Kanjo. But in this case it worked fine, since feeling and feeling blue kind of, Joho. Jijo, okay, Joho is a report, information, okay. Jijo, circumstance, okay, conditions. Kanjo, your feelings. Jo Netsu, also passionate, right? Passion, enthusiasm. Dosho, same feelings, right? Sympathy, oh, sympathy, that's right. Sympathy. Dosho. Yojo, your expression, facial expressions. Yeah, there. Okay, present. Now, remember, this is like to exist, not present is, and I'm giving you a present, so. Genzai, so okay. There we are. Okay. And so yeah, so the king is looking at everyone present. So that's why you want to be very careful about keywords. That's all. But yeah, you know, Genzai, Yogen, that's your facial expression, your expression on your face. Genkin, real money. Genjitsu, that's that's truth, reality. Genjitsu, Agendai, that's current generation, current modern age, and Genba, the seeing the job. Gen, pretty straightforward. Fee, that's yeah, measuring cup of rice. That's your fee. Just 1 cup of rice. Measuring cup. Actually, that's, what is that? That is measuring cup, right? What do we call that? Yeah, measuring cup. Cool. Alright. Ryo, materials. So it's fee or materials. Yori, cooking. Zairyo, ingredients, materials. Kyuryo, that's your fee, salary. Shiryo, those are your materials you need for stuff. Muryo, that's free or charge. Yokin, that's your payment, right? Charge or your fee. Cool. Yokin. Alright, remainder. Yeah, so I just think of the Nokoro Zannen. Yeah, kind of think of this one. I feel like I'm drawing it badly. Yeah, I'd like drew that really badly. Let me redraw that. Okay, cool. Alright, so Nokoru, he remains. Zannen, unfortunately. Nokosu, to leave undone. Nokori, that's remains. Zangyo, what is that? Overtime. Oh yeah, God, I should remember that. Zangyo. Nogorazu, nothing left behind. Without Nogorazu. Cool. Black. Kuro. Just really easy. This computer. Yeah, just burning on a campfire, turn it all black. Kuro. Alright. Kuro, kuroi, makuro, kokuban, that's blackboard. Kuroji, that's being profitable, surplus. And kokujin, black person. Cool. Okay, special, tokubetsu, so that's cow at a temple is treated special. Yeah. Toku. Cool. Alright, so toku ni, tokubetsu. Usually with the temple primitive, it has a she or B. What is it? She. She or G pronunciation, but in this case it's toku. Toku ni, tokubetsu, special. Tokyu, special express. Tokute, specification. Okay. Tokucho, that's a pattern or distinctive features. There we go. Tokushu, what's tokushu? Special, unique. Awesome. Revolve. Yeah, so make sure don't mix this up with Kai. So this is revolve. So this is, since it's 10, that makes it easier. That's car and rising cloud. Alright. The 10 of Jitensha. Cool. Alright, so Jitensha, bicycle. Unten, to drive. Untenshu, driver. Korobu, fall. Tenkin. Isn't that, transfer, there we go. Kaiten, revolution. Yeah. Spin, rotation. Awesome. Promise, yakusoku. Alright, so that's Spider-Man making a promise with bound by a drop of blood. Yakusoku. Yoyaku. There we go. Yoyaku, yakusoku, keiyaku, contract, right? Yeah. Setsuyaku, that's savings, right? Saving drift. Joyaku, treaty. Okay, konyaku, well, that's a marriage proposal, engagement. Yep, there we go. Cool. Run, hashiru. I want to say it's dirt. Mend. Oh. Yeah, a bunch of runners, you got to mend the dirt. Yeah. Hashiru. There we go. Awesome. Alright, so Hashiru. Shiwasu. Really? December? I would not have guessed that. Nor that it would be a common word. Toso. What's that? Escape flight? Daso. That's escape. Yeah, desertion, escape. Datsu. So. And Kasoro. Slippery runway. Okay. Sure, why not? Kasoro. Flavor. Your mouth is not yet ready to savor such flavor. Mouth and not yet. Me. Alright, so we got wishi, tasty, imi, meaning, significance. Okay, aji is flavor, taste. Shumi, interest, hobbies. Miso shiro is just the soup. Miso soup, yeah. And kyomi, your interest. Alright, awesome. Occasion. Kokusai. Yeah, trying. Can't remember if that's under the house or next to the temple. It's got to be next to the Eiffel Tower. I probably got this wrong. These are very easy to get wrong. Okay. Jisai, reality. Kokusai, international. Sai, opportunity, time. Kokusai teki, globalization, international. Okay. Kokusaika. Oh, yeah. Kokusai teki is international, internationalization, globalization. Kosai, that's your interactions, associations, dating. All right, we'll make that up. Okay, mae. Make sure, yeah. Yeah, so it's in front of the butcher shop. And butcher shop. There we go. Mae, namae. Now it's cool. It's like if you got like namae, so what is in front? So basically the part that comes afterwards. So in Japanese, the given name, the individual name, not the family name, goes last. So it's family name, given name. So that's the namae. Goes in, so it's after the noon. Instead of, let's see, goes in, so it's after the noon, in front of noon. Hiromae, yeah, goes in. Okay, so yeah, go is afternoon. Before, okay, can't in front of and alto day after, and those. It gets weird. You just realize like go is afternoon and goes in is morning. You just, yeah, Hiromae, like right before noon. Hiro, is it Hiroato? Chosen. Okay. Izen, before now. Before long ago. And Zenkai. Last time. Zenkai. Cool. Clothing. Fuku. Alright, so you want to say something's happy, and then the bikini. Microstamp bikini. Clothing. Alright, so fuku, yofuku, western clothing, fukuso, clothing, way of dressing, okay. Ifuku, clothes, okay. Wafuku, Japanese style clothing, and then seifuku, uniform. Seifuku. Okay, cool. The end, awaru. So that should be Spider-Man, winter. The end, awaru. Spider-Man at winter. Okay, awaru. The end, awari, saishu, the final. Shuryo, complete. Shuden, last train. Oeru, finish something. Cool. Father. And I like how think of this as Darth Vader. I always like how they say it. You can even see the two crossing. Well, that's my little. Sadly, the ink. My pen ain't working like it should be. Yeah, two cross lightsabers there. And yeah, there we go. So we got Chichi, father, Oto-san, Sofu, grandfather, right? And then Chichioya, father, and Fubo, father, mother, Fubo, and Fuke, father, son, or parents. Cool. Fuke. All right, awesome. Quick question. Hi, how are you? Doing good. And when did you start? Today I started about 25 minutes ago. Japanese, 12 years ago, technically. Technically longer than that, you know, but counting the gaps, it's kind of complicated. I had like this on-again, off-again relationship with Japanese learning, so my progress has been not consistent. Anyway, music. I want to say, so it's Banzai. Okay, Banzai, you just do 3 there, and then music for Is the Heavens. So this is the, no, different type of music. This is Tanoshi. Oh, okay, there. This is where you got to make sure you read the words. So this is White, Sparkles, and Tree. Daku. There's an older way of writing this, by the way. Daku. Alright, Tanoshi, Tanoshimu, Ongaku, music, Tanoshimi, fun, look forward to something. Tanoshi, Daku, ease, relaxation, Gaki, musical instruments. Cool. Alright, status quo. That's I want to say that's a turtle. Oh, okay, so I want to say that's the. That doesn't look right. That does not look right. I know it's like turtle and puppy. I feel stupid. I'm gonna have to mark this wrong. God, I'm so stupid. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Turtle and puppy. Alright. Worry about that later. Okay, above, wit. This is where Harry Potter comes into play. Ue, ageru, give up something, jozu. You're going to hear that all the time about your Japanese ability. Nihongo jozu desu ne. Noboru, climb something, ijo, from here on out. Or, ijo, okay, more than, I like that. Never mind, more than, ijo. Iko, I was saying iko, not ijo, sorry. Agaru, go, rise up, cool. Accept. Okay, fingers, accept. Offering plate. Alright, so I believe it's this right here. Ukeru. It's kind of a, my visual story for it is kind of, let's say on the, shouldn't have, okay. Shouldn't have put the fingers in there. God damn it. Alright. What was the finger one? Oh, fingers are, take stuff out of there off of the plate. That's why. Okay. We'll mark it wrong just for fun. Submit. Yeah, so this is submit your application. So Batman submitted his application to be on the ARC. Okay. Cool. Submit offer. There we go. Domo. Alright, Kodomo for children. Take yo to sponsor something, offer, provide. Q, what is that? Supply provision, okay. Tomo, with someone, attendant revenue. Sonaeru, offer something. Alright, that sounds cool. Mountain, Yama. Easy enough. Very simple kanji, even looks like a mountain. There we go. Kamendaru, 20, oh my god, I started 105 days ago. Why are you learning Japanese? Well, to learn Japanese. I live in Japan, there you go. Anyway, Yama, Tozan, also mountain climbing. Okay, yeah. Ascend a mountain. There we go. Kazan, volcano. Yeah, that's kind of obvious. Fire and mountain is a volcano. Yeah. Yama Nobori, mountain climbing. San Myaku, that's like a mountain, chain of mountains, right? Mountain range. And Kozan, that's a mineral mountain mine. It's a mine. Oh, mineral for the mountain. A mine. Kozan. Stone. Ishi. Okay, cool. Easy also. There we go. Alright, Ishi, cool. Sekken, that's soap. Sekiyu, that's oil. Petroleum oil, okay. Sekitan, that's coal, right? That's coal? Yeah, coal. Houseki, that's jewel or gems. Gems, jewels, okay. And Sasuga, that has nothing to do with that. That's just like, oh, sonotori da. As expected. Just as expected, like, you kind of, it's become of a meme for people who do Attack on Titan. It's like, Sasuga Pieck-chan, sonotori da. As expected, Pieck, Mrs. Pieck. That, you are right. Or it was, they did a literal translation instead of like what you think. Exactly. You're right. Let's see, Kemendra, did you pass N1 JLPT? No, I've never taken the JLPT, so I don't know. I don't think I'd pass the N1. I suck. I could probably pass the kanji part, but that's about it. You know, the reading part I would bomb. Maybe. I'll be getting better though, don't worry. Okay. Anyway, let's pass this one. What are we doing on time? Alright, so we're at the 32-minute mark. Let's just do this last one. Sound. Ongaku. And that's easy enough. You just stand on the sun, making a loud sound. If you saw the Rick and Morty one, that's kind of obvious as well. Alright, cool. Ongaku, music, oto, sound, rokuon, recording a sound, hatsuon, pronunciation, okay. So-on, noise, urusai. Zatsuon, like background noise, yeah, also noise. I think zaon is like noise, it's annoying, and zatsuon is just a lot of noise, but not annoying, just from the environmental noise. Can you understand TV news? Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. I really need to read it. Like, if I'm listening, I'm not very good at understanding. My reading is much better than my listening. So much better. That's why the books look like this, but I can't speak Japanese for shit. Yeah. That's a lot of pages. That one's already filled up. And that one, and that one, and that one. It happens when you do reviews. Those pages start getting filled up fast. Don't like look too much into it. It happens. Anyway, we're good here. Let's go to Dex again. Yeah, so this number is going to go down to 650 after the. Yeah, like I said, I'm doing these in multiples of 50. So yesterday was 700. Today 650. Tomorrow will be 600. Then just go down an extra 50 every day, plus whatever extra reviews are on top of that, till it's down to 0, and then I'll be not even gonna have to worry about them. And I am physically writing them down. And I'm reading over the words. There's some benefit to that because again, I just made these decks for kanji, and I'm pretty sure there might be some really bad mistakes in 1 or 2 of them, at least. If that's all that's happened, it's great. But yeah, like the part of me is like, because I want to start sharing these decks with people again, because I think it's a pretty good deck, considering it's split up into, you know, like the way this part 1, each of these are 500 kanji each deck, except for this last one. This is 3,256 kanji. But this first deck is 75%. If you look at any kanji, 75% of the time it's one of these 500. This one's 15%. Still 500 kanji, but 15% of the time it's one of these 500. Then it's 5%, 3%, 1%, and this is 0.5%. The remaining 0.5%. So this one right here is 500 kanji is 0.5%. The remaining 0.5% of any kanji you're going to run into is one of these 3,250 kanji. You don't need to worry about those 3,250 kanji. Don't even worry about it, okay? You just don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about these or these. Like, you got to know, like, 16,000 words to even worry about this. this 500 kanji here. Like, don't even worry about it. Until you've learned like 10,000 words, don't even worry about these. This set of 500. And this one, like, don't even worry about it until you've learned about 7,000 words. You're just not going to have to worry about them. They're just not going to be popping up when you're doing your reading. So you're basically be learning like rare kanji, which means then you got to learn less uncommon words in order to use those kanji. It just, is that really that important? Yeah, no, not really. Intro to the kanji. No, I'm not. Actually, there are people who do kanji better than I do. Way better than I do. I don't even do what's called shodo. That's like Japanese calligraphy, like making sure you do the strokes right using a paintbrush. And it's not really a paintbrush. Well, yeah, I guess it is. But yeah, on washi, or traditional Japanese paper. No, and also knowing kanji doesn't help if you don't know vocabulary for it. So if you're not learning the words that are going to use that kanji, don't learn the kanji yet. So, but you do need kanji, so don't hold off on kanji either. Like, it's a balance point. Learn about 1,000 kanji using hiragana, katakana, the most common word. No, sorry. So hiragana, katakana, and 1,000 most common words using hiragana. Okay, or if it's in kanji, put furigana above it. No problem. After that, then I'm trying to think here. After that, learn 500 kanji. This part 1 of kanji, and then another 1,500 words, and go back and learn part 2. Then 12,000. Then learn 2,000 words, and learn part 3. Learn 2,500 words. Come back to do part 4 and learn 3,000 words. Then, if you need to, you're at 10,000 words of Japanese. Go back and learn another 500 words, 500 kanji, and then don't come back to kanji again until you're at 16,000 words. And then again, learn it. Then you're at 26,000 words. Then learn another 500. It's going to be pretty simple how that works. So 16,000 words, 26,000 words, and then the next group, maybe when you get to 40,000 words, and you're not going to get to 40,000 words. The average adult Japanese person does not have an active vocabulary of 40,000 words. Any kanji is going to have that's going to be used is going to have furigana above it. So they don't need it. You don't even need to know the name of it, because it's probably in reference to somebody's name, or in reference to some old town that no one gives a crap about. I have dyslexia. No, dyslexia, I think is easier for people. Kanji is easier with people with dyslexia because it's images. So you're not. The problem with dyslexia is that you're mixing up the characters and the words. But since these kanji are by themselves pictures, they're meanings, you tend to put them in the right order. From my understanding. So dyslexics don't have as much trouble with Japanese as they do with English. From my understanding, I could be wrong. You're mixing kanji. Okay. All right. I don't know what your level is, so all right. Anyway, let's get into reading. But yeah, if you're having trouble, then obviously I'm not dyslexic, so I can't speak to that too much. I'm just heard when it came to problems, it was less of an issue with Japanese than it was with English. Because a big problem with English, if you some of it's like pattern recognition. That's a big thing, is pattern recognition. So you do get used to not looking at words as like a set of letters. You just kind of like look at it, your brain's doing the quick stuff. But if you're dyslexic, your brain's not doing the quick stuff, so it slows you down. Like, you got to concentrate way too hard to read the same. I mean, it's kind of like, I guess, early levels of reading Japanese. I can imagine. All right. Anyway, I'm kind of spitballing there because I don't know. So yeah, I apologize on that. Anyway, Ibota now. Well, I am mixing kanji even though I'm not dyslexic. Yeah. Okay. Well, that is with practice. Come on, dude. All right, here we go. Whew. Put on the earphones. What is it now? 40 minutes. Okay, turn on the audio. All right, and we're on episode 23. You can see we're almost done with this thing. Look at that. And if anyone ever tells you that subtitles isn't reading, don't, fuck you. I mean, look at all this. This is all subtitles, right? All right, this is like reading a light novel. This is like 200 pages of text, 250 or so, of pure text when you think about it. And it's pure dialogue. So yeah. But I don't misunderstand though. It's still better. Make sure is that you do read real actual novels, because you do get something, because this is just dialogue, and what's said in text is a lot differently. Like when you're reading what someone's thoughts are, and also what a description of a scene is, you're going to get a lot different type of vocabulary and phrases used than you would in just the spoken dialogue. So that becomes very important. I started learning Japanese because I don't like read something. I understand what you mean. It's just, and that's fine. Like the reading though makes, at least for a majority of people, the reading makes it easier to learn the audio, because now you don't have to worry about how fast someone is talking, because you can just pause. You don't worry about the accents or the background noise, because again, you've got the text, because the text isn't going to convey that. So you just pure information there. And then you can kind of get like what they're meaning, because you know sometimes if you don't have kanji there, it's hard to convey some of the meanings, because a lot of it's through context. But as you start reading, as you start consuming a lot of Japanese, we're talking thousands of hours of Japanese, and comprehending what you consume, then then that's not going to be an issue. All right, so we're at what is it, 126? There we go. Starts it off. Whoosh! His legs would be destroyed. King Bradley. Watsuendan ni Shuryudan. Watsuendan ni Shuryudan.
無茶をする子供ど、匂いで終えるか？
匂いで終えるか？
ケンペイさん、こいつを安全なところに頼む。ウィンリー、アルがまだ戦ってるから俺行くよ。ごめんな、戻ってきたら全部話す。
なんで待つことしかできないの。
三塁通りです。補助保護。鋼の錬金術師殿の身内らしい。中央司令部にご答せよ。繰り返す。厚く三塁通りで少女を保護。鋼の錬金術師殿の身内らしい。中央司令部にご答せよ。
援護に行ってやれ。
はい。
郊外に使える空き家がある。ここで落ち合おう。つけられるなよ。
はい。
落ち合おう。そこを商店でやって一緒になる。Get together after the rendezvous. Okay. 落ち合おう。
進展があったら連絡を入れます。
ああ。
現場に出てきちゃダメですよ。
分かってるよ。しつこい。
いや。
だんだん人気のない方へ。
Hitoki. It's not Ninki, Hitoki. What is that? God damn it. Hitoki. Oh, it's empty. Hitoki. Hitoki no nai kote.
はめられたか。
はめられたか。
スカーか。お前は向こうを片付けろ。こっちは私が始末する。
左腕が。
どうした。
若もうお役に立てません。
何を言っている。
私ごときにかまっていて若までも倒れてしまっては。
私ごとき。私ごとき。
民なくしては王はありえない。しかし王がいなくては民は行き場を失います。我ら一族のためにも若には生きてもらわねば。
捨てんぞ。
大義のために捨てるものなど。
大義。Justice。大義。大義のために捨てるものだ。
いくらでもありましょう。
Let's see. YouTube always copyright strikes if I watch anime. Yeah, sometimes I'll get not a strike. I'll just get they'll just like say, oh, we're gonna monetize your video with whoever, or you can't monetize or whatever. So that's, who cares about that? But yeah, with the strike, I've gotten it a couple times, but not always. What helps is, like I said, I'm not showing the whole video. I'm just showing like 3/4, and over it, like when they're speaking, you're seeing the subtitles. So it's not like you're getting a lot of enjoyment visually from this. And as far as the audio, again, I'm kind of breaking it up because I'm pausing and reading stuff. So it is basically more of a let's react as opposed to let's just watch it without any, to kind of get around paying for it. Come on, stop that.
ラファ、何をする気だ。やめろ。
その鎧の中、空だったな。暴れな。そのような不幸な体になってなお錬金術を信じるのか。
この体、不自由なことはたくさんある。だけど不自由と不幸はイコールじゃない。哀れに思われる理由はないよ。兄さんが錬金術でつなぎ止めてくれた命だ。
つなぎ止めて、つなぎ止める、つなぎ止めてくれて命だ。
今の僕を否定することは。
否定。
兄さんも錬金術を否定することになる。僕は錬金術の可能性を信じてる。信じたい。
そうか。
そうか。
兄さん、ウェニーは
大丈夫だ。情けねえ。
情けない。
また泣かせちまった。
兄さんはいつもうかつすぎるんだよ。
うかつ、ぼんやりしていて。うかつ。兄さんはいつもうかつすぎるんだよ。Anyway, let's see real quick. Kemindro, this anime is too high for me. Now, for me, I would have thought the same when I first started it, because similar with Evangelion. But what happens is, like, once you get over like the first 2 or 3 episodes, it's like it, you're like struggling through each of these new words and vocabularies. It got much easier. But yeah, I do recommend, like, probably for N3 level, like if you only got like a 4,000 words under your belt, stick with anime that are slice of life, like everyday. It uses everyday language and conversations, and I think you'll find then you can move up to this fun. If you find this stuff fun, then yeah, definitely move up to this. Or if you find the slice of life stuff fun, stick with that. This does have some slice of life elements, so that's also enjoyable, and those are the easy episodes. But yeah, episodes like this where they're talking into high level words, concepts, and whatnot, yeah, it gets kind of difficult. And that's ukatsu, right? Ukatsu すぎるんだよ。
血生臭いところも見られちゃったね。
血並み臭い。ああ、血並み臭いところも見られちゃったね。
さて、仕切り直しだ。
仕切り直し。仕切り直す。仕切り直した。
見つけた
ああ、gluttony。
貴様は
あの入れ墨。
ホムンクルス。
That was nasty. Wait a minute. Kanjo. Oh, kanjo now. Kanjo no wire.
再生力がありすぎるのがあだとなったな。
Ada. Ado to naru. Ada to naru. Yeah, Ada is like your foe. Ada to natta becomes your foe. Okay, your strength becomes your foe. I like that. Ado to natta. Yeah, that makes sense. Ado to natta.
内側から盛り上がる自分の肉で自ら締め付けられる。
盛り上げる。Let's see, 盛り上がる自分の肉で。
本当だ。ホムンクルス。
She cut off her arm? Jeez!
見事なり。
That's an amazing sight. Migoto nari. Migoto nari. Yeah, don't worry about sharing decks on here. I mean, it's easy to make decks, so that's never a hard part. And it's better to make cards from stuff you yourself would watch instead of stuff that other people made for you. And even then with this stuff, it's like I said, I've kind of demonstrated, like, it's not too difficult to turn this into funky. And I stopped worrying about audio as well. Like, I used to have a lot of audio on my cards, and it's like, yeah, actually, it's not that important. And it's more annoying than it's worth. Especially if you're going to be watching shows every day like you should be doing, then yeah, the fact that you have audio on during your review time, that also just slows you down as well. Migoto nari.
出し抜いてやったぞ。
出し抜いて。
化け物め。
なんだホムンクルスだと。
乗せて逃げるわよ。憲兵が見てる。無関係。
無関係を予想。うん。
でもよそへ。
逃げたぞ。スカを捕らえろ。はっ。
大佐はいけすかねえやつだが。信用はできる。それより今は。スカを捕まえるぞ、あれ。ロックベル夫妻殺害の件。
ベル夫妻殺害の件。殺害の件。
その他もろもろで。
もろもろ。その他。
出るところへ出てさばいてもらう。
さばいてもらおう。Oh, her?
無事ですか、下僕さん。我が
下僕さん。下僕さん。無事ですか、下僕さん。
恩人ヨキさんの下僕さんに何をするんですか。
恩人ヨキさんの下僕さんに。
この豆男。
なんだあの子供は。お嬢ちゃん離れて。危ないから。
多勢に無勢。
多勢に無勢。
ここは退却です。
retreat。退却。ここは退却です。Oh。インターン。
なんだあの錬金術。
離れた場所に連戦を。こっちです。
くそ見えね
あなたのことは聞いてるわ、リン・ヤオ。このまままっすぐ隠れ家に行くわね。
待った、仲間が一人いる。拾ってくれ。
ダメよ、そんな余裕ないわ。
頼む、今死にそうになってるんだ。
死にそう。
俺が迎えに行くのを待っている。
手早く頼むわよ。
手早く。Should be quick about it. 手早く頼む。
あの女は確かマスタングの。やってくれたな若造。
若造。やってくれたな。Lanfang. Well, she has 1, 2 knee arms there in that picture now. Lindy. They should have shown the little girl, I forgot her name already.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
俺もあんな目を。どこまで行っても憎しみは憎しみしか生まんのか。
憎しみ。
これで出血は止まったと思います。
すまん。
旦那、憲兵隊が近くまで来ている。逃げた方が。
奴は傷を負っている。まだそんなに遠くには逃げてはいないはずだ。調べつぶしに探せ。
旦那、早く早く。
シャオメイ、逃げる。あれ、拾っちゃった。
お前らこの非常時に何拾ってんだよ。
シャオメ逃げる。
だってあの騒ぎの中一人ぼっちだったんだよ。
騒ぎの中一人ぼっち。一人ぼっち。ん Nobody. No friends.
お前はいつも野良猫拾ってはこっそり体の中で飼いやがって。
ノロネコ。ノラ猫。ノラ猫。それ。ノラ。
捨ててこい。
兄さんって人でらしい。こんなにおとなしいのに。大丈夫、落ち着いて。
Okay. Higher rankings of importance. Okay.
どうぞ、こちらです。
どうも。
こちらです。
中に入っててね。
ウィンリー。
Uh-oh. King Bradley.
いや
Yo.
鋼の錬金術師君、
ブラッドレー大曹と。
どうして？
君たちの幼なじみが保護されていると聞いたものでね。大切な人材の身内だ。
Let's see if that's a phrase. 大切な人材の身内だ。
丁重に扱わなければな。
丁重に。丁重に。扱わなければな。扱わなければな。じゃあ、嬢さん。
ではお嬢さん、私は失礼するよ。
はい、どうも。
素直ないい子だ。大切にしたまえよ。
エド、約束よ。父さんと母さんのこと全部教えて。そう、最後まで人のために作る。
最後まで。
してたんだね。でもやっぱり生きて帰ってきてほしかった。私は待つことしかできない。
ちょうどよかった。ロックベル様にお電話が入っております。
私？もしもし、ゴーフィールさん。
ごめんね、ウィンディちゃん。私だけでどうにかしようと思ったんだけど。
ウィンディちゃんはまだ帰ってこないの？これ見てよ。ウィンディちゃん以外には直せないでしょ。
あなたのお客がもうみんなうるさくって。
早く帰っとくれよ、ウィンディちゃん。
ウィンリお姉ちゃん？哲くん？
お姉ちゃん早く帰ってきてよ。ガーフィールさんよりお姉ちゃんに見てもらった方が足の調子がいいんだ。
ウィンディちゃん、この前型取りした足の外装早いとこ頼むよ。おいらの
外装、足の外装。
でも頼むぜ。いや、こっちが先だ。
早く会いたいよ、バカ野郎。
オイラ。Really? オイラ。Ours. オイラの腕も。
姉ちゃんはみんなのものだ。しげる。
ごめんね。すぐ戻るね。待っててね。頑張るから。頑張るから。ありがとうね。あの時止めてくれてありがとうね。私を待ってくれる人たちがいるんだよね。その人たちに顔向けできなくなるところだった。ウィンリー。エド、オートメイルの手入れ忘れないでね。
Taking care of, right? 手入れ care。オートメイルの手入れ忘れない。
今度いい磨き油送るね。
巻き油。That should be oil for rust. Let's see if that's a phrase. Better phrase for it. Waki. Oh, wow. 磨きよ。いや、油。polish. Okay.
ある。うん。死なないでね。
おう。今度お前
何？聞こえないよ。兄さん、待ってよ。じゃあね、ウィンディ。もうちょっとエド、なんて言ったのよ。
今度お前を泣かせるときは嬉し的だ。絶対あると二人で元に戻って嬉し泣きをさせてやるからな。覚えてろ。俺に手足をくれ。1年だ。もう後戻りできねえな。なんでお前が泣くんだよ。
そっか。私惚れてたんだ。
大佐、
乗りたまえ。重傷者がいる。医者が必要だ。
またやばい橋か、このクソガキ。
確かあなたには家族がいたはずだ。迷惑なら断ってくれていい。
道具持ってくるから待ってろ。
いいのか。
イシュバールから帰ってすぐに妻とは別れた。
イシュバールと帰ってすぐに妻と別れた。
腕をぶった切ったまま下水道を歩いた？
Wait a minute. I know it's like beaten, cut off. 腕をぶった切ったまま下水道。下水道 Drain. 下水道を歩いた。Ooh, good infection.
破傷風になっても知らんぞ。
破傷風。Should be an infection, right? 破傷風。Tetanus. Okay, 破傷風。破傷風になって知らんぞ。
最近死体の相手しかしてないからな。ちょっと荒っぽいぞ。
Oh my god, oh. Messy.
すまん。
勘違いするなよ。話を持ちかけたのはこっちだ。利害が一致したから協力しただけだ。
利害が一致したから利害が一致した協力した。
不老不死なんて求めるからにはそれなりの犠牲は覚悟して国を出てきている。
See, Taco Kato, what you doing? Just listening to the show up above while reading the stuff off to the side. Yeah, that's about it.
いや、
Pause and look up words I don't know.
足りなかった。
いや、足りなかった。
俺よりもランファンの方が覚悟があった。
できることあるか。
貴様のトラップ悪くなかった。
ああ。
だがもう使えない。代わりの腕が必要なんだ。
ああ、いいオートメール技師紹介するぜ。
技師紹介するぜ。
国軍大佐ロイ・マスタングだ。
新国皇帝第12子リン・ヤオ。
新国帝子新国帝子皇帝国皇帝国皇帝大。
医者を手配してくれて感謝する。
こちらこそマリア・ロスの件では世話になった。それと今回の件でもな。
おい、なんだあれは。
グラトニーと呼ばれるホムンクルスだ。
どうやらこいつは軍上層部の一部とつながりがあるらしい。
どうやらこいつは軍上層部。
一部だとそれどころじゃないぞ。キングブラッドレー、あいつもホムンクルスの可能性がある。
About time that got out. So.
眼帯の下。
Gantai, that's the eye patch, right? Gantai no shitsa. Yeah, Gantai. Might as well see it real quick. Yeah. Gantai no shita.
眼球にウロボロスの入れ墨があった。
眼球にウロボロスの入れ墨があった。
グラトニーと一緒になって俺たちを追い詰めてきた。
まさか
国のトップがホムンクルス。
ただブラッドレーにはグラトニーのような人ならざる人の気配がない。
人ならざる人の気配がない。
普通の人間の気配と一緒なんだ。
だったら第一大総統がホムンクルスなら息子さんはどうなるのさ。ホムンクルスは生殖能力がないって本に書いてあったよ。
Okay, so able to reproducing. 生殖能力がないって本に書いてあった。
息子のセリムは養子だ。
Adopted child. セリムは養子だ。
大総統の血を分けた子供じゃない。
So 血を分けた。So of one's blood, right? 血を分けた。Relayed by blood. 血を分けた子供じゃない。
化け物か人かいずれにせよ大総統の椅子から引きずり下ろしやすくなったな。
それの椅子から大統領の椅子から引きずり下ろし引きずり下ろOK 引きずり下ろしやすくなった。
まずはこいつから情報を引き出す。賢者の意思もいただこう。部下の治療に使えるかもしれん。
おいランファンが腕を失ってまで手に入れた。
手に入れた。
老子の手がかりだ。
老子の手がかりだ。
真に持ち帰らせてもらう。もっと待てよ。
こいつだけ元の体に戻る方法を長いこと
してるんだ。文字逃げは許され。
そうだ。リン、君は不法入国。
不法入国。君は不法入国。Illegal immigrant.
ああ、もうついていけねえ。マスタングさんよ、俺は帰らせてもらうぞ。
マスタング。ラスト殺した。マスタング大佐。
That's different. Okay, anyway, 2358.
Zen to koi no emi no ura.
Zen. What is that? Zen. Yoi kokoro. Okay, good heart. Zen to koi. Interest. Koi. Konomashi. Likings. Good heart. Favorable sense. Goodwill. Zen to koi.
何が隠れる森の中。探る手段は慎重に。
Stop that. 慎重に。探る手段は慎重に。
進む暗中模索の走り。
暗中。模索、暗中模索、暗中模索。暗闇の中、in the darkness、手探りして。searching in the darkness、groping in the dark。進む。暗中模索、暗中模索、暗中模索の走り。
次回、鋼の錬金術師フルメタルアルケミスト第24話腹の中。
腹の中。
うかつに飛び込めば。
うかつに飛び込めば。
待っているのは黒い闇。
待っているのは黒い闇。Wow. So this is what happens when it just fully unleashes whatever it is. Okay, cool. I wonder if those are all like aspects of whatever that like they're all aspects of that beast's emotion. Like they're all kind of connected to the same creature, but they're just aspects of its individual emotions. Hence why they're all named after like the 7 deadly sins. I don't know. All right, so Mizunana, すっごく久しぶりに放送。Yeah, okay. good day. このアニメはあんまり日常生活では使わない。Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. 日本語は良い。Yeah, so yeah, it's not everyday language. Definitely, you're not in the military using everyday military. Plus, they use some very archaic forms of addressing each other, especially like Armstrong. He definitely uses very old samurai-like languages. I assume samurai. I don't really watch a lot of samurai flicks at all, so hard to tell. Which is kind of funny because I plan on doing a drama, let's read of Jin, which is a doctor who's kind of time slipped back into the Edo period. So that'll be it's an interesting drama. So I really want to actually do a let's read on it because it would be kind of cool. All right, so let's take a break and yeah, let's see right there. And actually, first let me bring up the number 24. And again, tomorrow's the last day for Fullmetal Alchemist. Okay, cool. No, it's not. I'm not finished, but gonna take a quick break and then come back, do episode 24. Then tomorrow is gonna be like episodes 25, 26, and when that's finished, the next thing I'm gonna be doing is Harry Potter. So it's but I try to do 2 episodes or about a couple hours at most of doing the Let's Reads. Okay, so yeah. I just need to take a quick break, so I'm not one of those that can do it for like 2 hours straight. So. Anyway, I assume, let's see, Mizunan, do you, 日本に住んでいますか? All right, cool. Yeah, I live in Yokosuka myself, so a nice little lockdown going on sometimes. Yeah, I apologize for responding in English. I just I've got no problem like reading Japanese and listening to Japanese. I just prefer to respond in English just because. But since my level's kind of low. Later on, I'll be practicing out, but it'll be a while. So, Mizunan-san, 日本人ですか? Okay, cool. Let's go to 130. There we go. Okay, here we go. And yeah, this is a part of me thinks if this is a chase in the woods, this may not be as vocabulary heavy. It's a lot dialogue heavy, but who knows? Yada yada.
やれやれ、またか。あんたは大事な人柱候補なんだ。元気でいてくれなきゃ。
So they, I know they're holding that doctor. So who else would they be holding?
困るんだよ。ねえ、ドクターマルコ。
Yep, Dr. Maruko. Okay.
ずっと考えていた。人柱とは何なのか。お前たちは私に何をさせようとしているのか。今お前たちがやっているのは、この国と国民すべてを利用して巨大な連星人を作ること。そしてそれは賢者の石を作るためのもの、違うか。
惜しい。でも
Close. Unfortunately. Oh, she.
もういい線いってる。
いい線。
That's a good, more or less. Isen.
で、どうすんの？協力しないってんなら、あの村消しちゃうよ。ラストから聞いてるよ。あの村に手を出さない代わりに協力するってね。どうする？協力して国民全部滅ぼす？協力しないであの村の人間全部消しちゃう？バカだな。蝶を切り捨てりゃ大は助かる。
捨てる。いや。大はつける。
少し考えりゃ分かることなのにさ。まあ、もっともそれがあんたたち人間ってやつだ。理屈より情が先に立つ。
理屈より情が。理屈より情が先に立つ。
いつか殺した男もそうだった。奴の女房に化けてみせたら。
女房。It's the wife, right? 女房。wife。奴の女房に化けてみせたら。
手を出せなくて逆転のカードを逃した。付け入りやすくて助かるよ、人間。
逆転。逆転。ターニングポイント。逆転のカード。カード。Escape card. That turning point. カードを逃した。獣の化け物の中、化け物の中の腹の中。
人間相手に随分手こずっているじゃないですか。
随分手こずっている。随分手こずっている。
ラス、スカーに逃げられ グラトニーまで連れ去られるとは君らしくもない。
ああ、そうだな。
嬉しそうですね。
否定はせんよ。
否定はせん。
少し楽しい。60年生きてきて、こうして今国のトップに立っている。すべて父上の予定通りに。
ところが、
マスタング大佐にエルリック兄弟、そして外の国から来た者たち。老快な我々がいいようにかき回されている。
了解。了解の我々がいいようにかき回す。かき回されている。
若者の時代がすぐそこまで来ているのかもしれんぞ。プライド。
プライ
ラース、君は長く人間と接しすぎた。
そうかもしれん。
我々がどういう存在なのか。忘れないでいただきたい。今の反逆とも取れる発言は。
反逆。発言。取れる発言。
父上には報告しないでおきましょう。それよりグラトニー。
心配ない。憲兵隊の情報からおよその場所は掴んでいる。
何これ。大佐、どこですか。
おい、注意。
大佐。
注意。挑発するな。
That's good. All right.
そいつの狙いは私だ。マスタング。
やめ。創発？挑発するな。
ランファン、ここから出るぞ。
何があったのですか。
怪物が腹の中に怪物を飼っていた。周りをバックに飲み込みやがった。
こんなものまで作り出すのか。錬金術は。
仕方ない、倒させてもらおう。
せっかく捕まえたホームンクラスだよ。
生き残るのが優先だ。それに我々の顔と名を覚えられた。こいつを生かして返す理由がない。
炎なんだ。
だったら君が何とかしてみせろ。
っていうかついてこないでよ。あいつが狙ってるのは大佐だよ。
あそこへ逃げ込め。3回
逃げ込め。3回スプリットアップ。散らばること。 3回。
くそ、こんな時に。
早くしろ坊主。
What was that?
急げ、こんなところに長居は無用だ。
長い。Oh, can't. Okay. 無用だ。このところに長いは無用だ。
まだエドたちが。
知るか。俺はただの一般人だ。こんなわけのわからん戦いに巻き込まれて死んでたまるか。
こんなの巻き込まれて。
畜生、あいつら何もたもたしてやがる。
何もともた。あいつら何もともたして。
ダミーに引っかかったか。
相当頭にきてるみたいだね。
ほら、
頭にきてる。Should be making upset. 相当頭にきてるみたい。
さっさと帰れ。これ役立たず。
注意はこっち。ランファーをお願い。
この状況でおめおめ帰れというのか。
おめえら。この状況。
足手まといなんだよ。
足手まとい。足手まとい。
本気で役に立ってません、大佐。
本当にこのボケ大佐は。いいから自分の仕事をしろ。軍のトップがホムンクルスだなんて放っとける問題じゃねえだろ。
放っとける。放っとける。放っとける。問題じゃねえ。
軍のトップってまさかブラッドレー大総統が。
その話は後だ。乗れ。
満席だろ。言ってくれ。
バカ野郎。
戦場に子供だけ残していけるわけないでしょ。
おたくらの戦う相手は軍上層部だろ。
Should be otaku on oneself, right? So, otakuだ。
こっちはあのグラトニってやつから情報を引き出さなきゃならないんでね。
ここに残ってあいつと戦う。子供だからとかそんなの関係ないよ。
今回の作戦の言い出しっぺは俺たちだ。ここまで手を貸してくれて。
Let's see if that's a phrase. 言い出しっぺ。今回の作戦。言い出しっぺ。言い出しっぺは。
ありがとな。
エドワード君、持っていきなさい。使い方はわかるわね。それは人を殺す道具だ。あなた
Actually, has Eric actually... Huh. I'm trying to think, has he actually killed anyone? I don't think so. Huh. Now that I think about it. Okay. He's a very violent kid, but yeah, I don't think he's actually killed anyone. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank there. I don't think he has. Okay.
あなたたちの命を守る道具よ。
お前の手は人を殺す手じゃない。
死なないでね。
カルトクよ。
ランファンを頼む。
若
行こう。行くんだ。
クソガキどもがああいうのが早死にするんだよ。
Mustang. Romi Mustang.
Romi Mustang はどこだ。よく漏らすとうるさいんだ。
戦うっつったけど。ぶっちゃけおっかねえ。キャラも変わってるし。
どうやって捕まえよう。どうしたの？犬？
Oh, a chimera. Interesting. Chimera.
止まれグラートニー。喋った。いやあ、久しぶりだね。鋼のおちびさん。
Fullmetal Alchemist. Fullmetal Alchemist.
誰がミジンコゾリ飯だ。
イシンゴゴゾイシンゴゾリムシゾリをbug food paramecium bacteria Zori mushi Mishinko Zori mushi
落ち着けよ。こっちはグラトニーを回収しに来ただけだ。おちびさんとやり合う気は7回ね。
7回ねやり合う気ちびさんとやり合う気
何の話だよ。今2回第5研究所の地下で5回。
Oh, calling him Chibi?
てめえは俺のことをチビって言った。忘れたとは言わせねえぞ。なんだそのピンポイントな記憶力。
ピンポイント。Let's see if it's a bit more. ピンポイント。なんだそのピンポイント記憶。待て。世話焼かせやがって。 Seiwa yakase. See if that's a phrase. Seiwa. Seiwa yakase yagete.
マスタングがいた。ラストの敵。ナムなんでやる。
大佐はダメだ。エルリック兄弟もな。
そんな。
さっきも気配を感じたが、中に何人いる。
さっきも feeling 気配 indications yeah さっきも気配を感じたな。
ホムンクルス。
お前だな。ラスト切り結んだという小僧は。
切り結んだ。Cut up and cut and tied up. Last と切り結んだ。うん。そうそう。Last と。I think it's last. It's a last wrath.
小僧とはなんだ。俺は真の国皇帝第12子。その名を。
飲んでよし。
飲んでよし。
待て待て待て待て待て。
なるほど。
僕ら兄弟には手出しできないみたいだね。
だったら。
手出してき
こっちは任せた。
いいだろう。見せてもらおうじゃない。ラスト渡り合った腕前ってやつ。
見せてもらおう。渡り合った。Change the opponents, right? To fight. 渡り合った。
おお、セリムが。
おお、セリムは。
クラスで一番になったんですって。あなたのことを作文に書いて。
読んでもいいですか？
今はお行儀が悪いわ。
お行儀が悪い。
まあいいじゃないか。読んで聞かせておくれ。
はい。僕の父はアメストリス国の大総統です。
Yeah, let's give a paper an F that starts with yeah, my dad's the leader of the country. I'm sure a teacher will fail that paper.
この国のために一生懸命働いています。父の胸にあるのはいつもこの国の人たちのこと、みんなが平和に暮らせるようにたくさんの問題に取り組んでいます。
取り組んでいます。取り組む。struggles with tackle 取り組んでいます。
でもどんなに忙しい時でも父は家族を忘れたことはありません。僕を母を愛してくれます。僕の言葉に父はいつも耳を傾けてくれる。
Concentrate. There we go. かけてくれる。
僕の願いをいつも聞いてくれる。そんな父が僕は大好きです。
ありがとう、セリム。
なかなかやるね。
お褒めの言葉どうも。
かかったな。どうだい、お前ら人間にはできない芸当だろ
う。どうだい、お前ら人間にはできない。I know that's a skill or art. 芸当、特別な、skill or function, feat or a stunt. 激動、芸当だろう。
だって締め殺されたいか、噛み殺されたいか、それとも切り刻まれる？
そんじゃ
目つぶしとかせこいって使いやがって。
目つぶしとかせっこいて使い、
小さい頃から暗殺の危険にさらされ続けてるんでね。
さらされ。
反則技も身につけざるを得なかったんだよ。
反則。
どうだい、おとなしく捕まってくれないかな。こっちは不老不死の情報が欲しいだけなんだ。
欲しいんだって
な。痛いの嫌だろ。
クソが人間風情が見下してんじゃねえ。
人間不浄。人間不浄。
人間なめるなよ、ホムンクルズ。
よし、取った。
危ないな、もう。
この
お前ら食べちゃダメなの。さっきの糸目が食べたいのに。
さっきの糸目。
おいおい、こっちの邪魔を。
あお。
やっぱり人間だな。
今だ、グランドに。
何？そう、人柱を飲ませるわけには。
Oh wow, the fuck?
飲んじゃった。
兄さん、おい、出せよ。兄さんを出せ。
無理、飲んじゃった。
嘘だろ、兄さん。
女房やガキが使ってた部屋があるんだが、
あちこち明かりがついてると近所に怪しまれる。俺のベッドで我慢してくれ。
若のところへ。
バカ野郎、その体で何ができる。
まだ帰ってない。わかりました。では直接司令部へ。はい、失礼します。行くぞ。
はい。
どこへだ。
この際敵味方をはっきりさせようと思ってね。
敵味方、敵味方気にさせ。
たくどいつもこいつも。てめえの傷も治りきってないのに、この上まだ無茶をしようってのか。
大総統がホムンクルスかもしれんのだ。悠長に構えてはおれまい。
悠長。悠長に構えてはおれない。
それに戦場に子供たちだけ残してきた。ここで行動しなければ大人として示しがつかん。何がおかしい？
いえ、大佐に子供扱いされてエドワード君が聞いたら怒るんじゃないかって。
あれは君の言葉の受け売りだぞ。
受け売り。君の言葉の受け売り。
それにしても意外です。大佐がこのような大胆な行動に出られるとは。
Plucky, boldly, 大胆に。Make sure that 大胆に。大佐はこのように大胆に。
大胆なものか。外堀から埋めようというだけだ。
外堀？外堀。外堀から。
それに
お前さんを理解して支えてくれる人間を一人でも多く作っておけ。
遅まきながら。
遅まき。遅まきながら。
あいつの忠告に従ってみようと思ってね。
栄養の
栄光の門か魔窟の入り口か。
栄光の門か魔窟。Really? I would not have guessed that. All right, let's see what that is. Cavern, 魔窟。
注意はここで待っていろ。私に万一のことがあったら君だけでも逃げるんだ。
嫌です。
命令だ。
承服できません。
納得してた。accept agreement. Okay. 承服できません。
強情だな。
強情だな。strong feeling. 固くな。stubborn. obstinate. 強情だな。
よくご存知かと。
わかった。必ず戻ってくるから待っていろ。
はっ、ご分を。
ご分の。good fight. 分。ご分。Well, that's actually it's military. Fortunes of war. ご分。
君がロイ・マスタング君か。さっき家内から電話があったよ。
レイブン中将閣下。
Vice? That's it's Vice General. Or wait, let's see, Lieutenant General. Lieutenant General. Sorry, it's Vice Admiral, Lieutenant General. Sorry. I think, let's see, Chujo. Yep, Vice Admiral, Lieutenant General. And then Kaka. I think it's just the honorary term, Your Excellency, Kaka. Chujo Kaka. Reibun. Chujo Kaka.
着任以来忙しさに。
着任。着任以来。
寝かまけてご挨拶にも上がらず。
かまける。あることだけに関わって僕のことを余裕がな。been busy。かまける。忙しさにかまけてご挨拶にも上がらず。
あげくこんな夜分に申し訳ありません。
あげく。いろいろやって。Moreover, right? After. 余分この余分夜 OK 夜分この夜分申し訳ありません。
構わんよ。時にグラマンのタヌキじじいは元気かね。
グラマンタヌキじじ時にグラマンのタヌキじじいは元気だね。
相変わらずです。
チェック。
参りました。これで11連敗だ。
連敗。
12だよ。まあ今回はなかなか検討したがね。
検討。Good fight。今回はなかなか検討した。
勝ちを意識してから後がまずかった。
意識 knowingly consciously wait a minute 価値を意識価値を意識してから
爪が甘いと
爪が甘いと
そう非常になりきれん。
非常になりきれん。Let's see if that's a phrase. なりきれん。なりきれ。非常になりきれ。
レイブンと同じだ。
レイブン将軍。
セントラルの
優秀だが情にもろくてね。
もろくて情にもろくて
負傷した部下を自ら助けに行き、陣容を乱すようなところがあった。
陣容乱すようなところがあった。
あれでは駒がいくつあっても足りんわな。
なんたる侮辱
侮辱insult 侮辱なんだろう。
私はその部下を思う情けを買われてセントラル勤務になった。辺境のじじいにどうこう言われる筋合いはないわ。
このじじいのどうか筋合いはない。
すっげえ
お気になさらず。
お気になさず。
ちなみにこのお話にご立腹されたなら。
立腹殺せる。ちなみにこのせいご立腹されたなら
将軍は今なお正義の人。何かと相談に乗ってくれるだろうとグラマン中将が。
またタヌキに一本取られたというわけか。
またタヌキに
おっと会議の時間だ。そこまで一緒に行こう。
And that's why this is a difficult series to watch sometimes, because that was a hard conversation to get through.
Central には慣れたか
ね。いえ、市民と言葉を交わすように心がけているのですが。
市政の噂もバカにできんからな。
市政
しかし大半はたわいのない話ばかり。
大半はたわいのない話ばかり。
スカーが猫に餌をやっていたとか。
スカーが猫に餌をやる。
死なない人間が現れたとか。大総統がホムンクルスだとか。
君ギャグセンスないね。本当にグラマンの部下だったの？
そっち方面は学び損ねました。
Wow. Let's see. Study. そうねました。そうねる。そうねました。
まあそんなゴシップでもみんなのお茶受けくらいにはなるだろ
う。お茶受けぐらい。みんなお茶受けぐらいになるだろう。
私などがこのような。
さて、さっきのジョーク、大総統がホムンクルスだとか。続けたまえ。
どうしたね、マスタング大佐。私がホムンクルスだからどうだというのかね。
確かホムンキュルスだからどうだ。
何か問題でも？
ああ、そうか、ヒューズ。軍がヤバいってのは軍に危機が迫っているというのではなく、
軍がヤバいってのは軍危機が迫っているというのではなく、
軍そのものがヤバいということか。鋼のここは地獄の底だ。
Oh, something's there.
だようだ。
なんだよここ。あれ、おい、誰かいないのか。
What is that? That's a nice. That's a pretty cool ending. It makes you really want to see the next episode. It's like, what the hell just happened? I can definitely tell how you definitely, if you're going to see both shows, Fullmetal Alchemist and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, they're both pretty good to watch, I think. But you definitely want to watch the Fullmetal Alchemist first, because like halfway into this, or not even halfway into this, like first season even, you're like already ruined a lot of the cool points of the first of Fullmetal Alchemist, because there's some storylines that get covered, some scenes that kind of get shown that are like really cool scenes, but they're like highlights further into the first Fullmetal Alchemist. This one they're like throwing it at you much earlier on. But yeah, it's cool. It's definitely cool. Let's keep going. Let's see, 2358.
「消えたものを探すのは孤独に対する恐れなのか」。だがたとえ姿が見えなくとも諦めない。信じているから。次回鋼の錬金術師フルメタルアルケミスト第25話闇の扉。私を見るな、この姿を見るな。
And there we go. Cool beans. Yeah, I don't actually know how long. I forgot what time I started this one. But I'm pretty sure, like I said, this one felt like it took a little bit longer just because I'm pausing, like looking up everything with that conversation with the general. that was hard. Yeah, let's turn up the volume real quick. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. The more I think about it, that there's a, if you're gonna really figure out like how much do you need to do to get good at Japanese, and there's always like study, and then it's really, this isn't studying, it is studying, but it's actually fun. So you don't look at it like it's studying, but if you realize like you've got to read for a certain number of hours, let's say, hey, you got to read, let's say for 500 hours or 1,000 hours. Now, that first 100 hours of how much you read is going to be not that much compared to that second 100 hours, that third 100 hours. Then you will get a point where you can only read so much. Like you may even get it to where you just, and the way I'm saying to read is read the audio. Read to the point where finally you can't keep up with the, like you're reading faster than the audio. And then that's a good point where maybe just abandon the whole reading to audio and just start reading books. And then start reading a lot more. I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but a lot of the people who get really, 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 really good in Japanese, like the ones that are like, look at the M1 test as a joke, are the ones that like, they've just consumed a lot of Japanese. And like, you hear stuff from maybe like Katsumoto, like what he did when he was doing all Japanese all the time. You saw him kind of write about it, but he never really mentioned it. It's like, he actually studied the subtitles of, I believe he studied the subtitles of Star Trek Voyager. So can you imagine that, like doing a let's read of, like I'm doing here, but with Star Trek Voyager, and that could be like, there are like mini seasons of that, so you have a lot to go off of. You can also, you could have done it with the Next Generation or Deep Space Nine if you're a Star Trek fan. So it was something that's fun to do and you found enjoyable. Can you imagine though? I mean, think about if you did like, that's the equivalent of, let's say 2 seasons, let's say 5, let's say that's like 10 books. And that's just starting off, and he would be at a really decent level at the point, by that point in the end. Now, I don't know if he was sentence mining or anything, but he was definitely reading it. So he'd see something he didn't know, he'd look it up. I think Matt vs. Japan mentioned that that's what he was doing. He was reading with lookups. Now, I don't know if he was doing like I'm doing, reading to audio, but he was definitely reading to, and he was watching anime. So, I don't know. I mean, I've watched plenty of shows in Japanese, and I don't think I've ever felt like I was gaining that much from it. But doing this, I feel like I am gaining a lot from it. I am gaining a lot from it. This is something that I noticed. It's kind of like why I got into the whole subsessor is that I realized I was getting a lot out of that than I was like the whole and I could see it like also with reading books. I just know that when my reading was getting way beyond my listening, that was going to be a problem. And so this is a good way of balancing that out. I could, if I don't have to do let's reads to audio. You just don't have to do that. But by having the audio there, now I've kind of got something that I can now throw into my immersion loops if I was doing that more. It's kind of sad, like if I just thought about, and this is not a really difficult at all. Like you're saying, hey, you are kind of watching it, but you're having fun in that, you're reading to what you're kind of watching. So I'm not paying attention to the visuals, unfortunately. So there's probably like some really cool scenes I'm missing out on. But the story's kind of interesting as well, so it's fine. It just mainly when they're talking, probably not a lot of stuff's happening. So there's there. So I am noticing when some cool shit does happen, and then when they start talking, now pay. So I might miss some of the, if they're doing some subtle things with the, their expressions or what, something happened in the background while they're talking. I'll miss that, which that's fine. Because later on I'll watch it again, but now I've got a lot more comprehension as to what the storyline's about. And my chain of thought on the reason why I was going on this is like I've listened to I saw like how Katsumoto got good, how Matt vs. Japan got good. Then there was a person Matt interviewed named Chris. He was the one that his story was the one that kind of clicked. It's like he did Anki with remembering the kanji, but then he never bothered with Anki. He never studied words, like put words into Anki or sentences into Anki. He wasn't even doing sentence mining. What he was doing is every day was reading visual novels, and visual novels are kind of like doing let's reads in that a lot of it is you're hearing what you read. Not all of it. A lot of it's text, but there's a lot of spoken audio in there as well. So you get to hear it, and so, and he got quite really good in Japanese just with that. Now I don't think like if you asked him to like what I could do, like, you know, write a word. If you give him a word, could he write it out? Like, could he write out airplane? Maybe not, but does it matter? You know, most people does it matter if you can write out airplane when you think about it? Probably not really that important. But you know, if you hear hikoki, then you should know. You know, kuko. Do you know what that is? Sky Harbor. By hearing that, it's making me realize, like, you know, this is a, you know, just keep this up, like read more. And then what's also kind of cool, because I'm keeping kind of track, I know roughly, you know, because I just can tell you by pages, like how many pages I've read to audio, you know, and from that, I got a really good way of like saying, hey, you know, milestones. So hey, look, I'm at my 100-hour. Now I don't know like how much I've read in per hour, because my reading gets better and better as time goes on. But also, you know, may or may not, it might slow down a little bit if, like, you know, I was doing, I think, like this is taking a little bit longer. Evangelion just took fucking forever. I mean, sometimes it would take me over. It was, God, that was taking me forever. So yeah, that was hard. But for the most part, on average, you know, it's pretty much, you know, one page. Maybe about, what do I want to say, 10 or so pages an hour, maybe 8 to 10. I could be wrong. Let's see, if it was 40 minutes for this, it's about, I want to say 8 to 10 pages, 8 pages of dialogue, ish. It's kind of, I'd have to go and really check, but, yeah, I do feel like I'm reading a lot faster now, so that's good. You know, I'm reading to audio. That's good. I guess I'm getting lost in thought, like what my level is as far as how fast I can read with comprehension. And there was some stuff I wasn't comprehending. Like, you know, there were some parts in there I was like, I need to pause it and like really look at it again. Like, tatue, sukata ga mie nakuto mo akire manai. I'm like, you don't. Just because you can't, you know, maybe if you can't, I guess, I mean, maybe you can't see the person, do you give up? You don't give up just because you can't see. I don't know, something like that. I'm translating really poorly. Okay, cool. I mean, but yeah, there were some lines in here. It's like, you know, I should probably pause a little bit longer and look at it a little bit more, reread it a bit more, and get it. And the reason why you want to do that, making sure you're getting the subtleties of the grammar, is that you internalize more. Like the more you struggle with it, then the more the mind wants to make it easier, and it gets tired of having to struggle. So it's like, hey, you know, it's got a pattern it can kind of figure out, and that's why, you know, I can imagine when people read a lot, they've internalized grammar without studying it. So it's like you said, well, obviously that's just what it can be. You don't see it another way. You know, something sounds normal, and if it doesn't sound right, because, you know, they've heard it only one way, and you know, you can kind of get that why, you know. But to do that, you need to give that mind like hundreds or thousands of hours of audio to chew on, or it won't happen. So nothing magical there. Alright, so tomorrow will be the last day of this for Fullmetal Alchemist. After that, I'll be going on into Harry Potter, Book 3. I think for Book 3, I'm just going to split it in half instead of doing it in thirds, now that I'm thinking about it. So I might just give up on not doing One Punch Man. I might just do Steins Gate and Attack on Titan, mixing up with Harry Potter. And then after that is start up on doing Japanese books and with TV shows. So again, I've got the idea of the first few TV shows, because, you know, there's some really good So first there are going to be mainly Netflix involved. So it's, you know, the Midnight Cafe, Shinya no Shokodo, and the first show of Boys and Girls Next Door. The first show of Terrace House, the one like the first started it all. It started up the series, or the whatever the way you want to say it. All right, so the reason why I'm picking that one is, one, it's recommended by other people. They say I had seen it and I like how it feels a lot more natural. Like they didn't know what they had, so when it was working, then it got popular, and when it got popular, unfortunately, that means you got fans that feel like it must be this one way, and then it stops experimenting after that. But maybe when it first started off, it's like, okay, yeah, this is cool. And they were going to try like, hey, let's. I don't know. Plus, it's before it got onto Netflix, so we'll see how that goes. And same thing. Reason why I want those two is like they're very discussion heavy, like really a lot of talking, and before I did Terrace House, I did Boys and Girls in the City, but I only did like an episode, but I did it via subs to SRS or equivalent, and it was a bad idea. Turned out not to be a good idea to do that. But with this whole Let's Read thing, it's like, no, yeah, I can see me doing this like every episode, you know, an episode or two every day, up to about episode 26, and just, yeah. And it's kind of like with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, where I can imagine like completing it, you know, doing, and these Let's Reads work quite well with dialogue, and then I can take that information and throw it into, eventually later on I'll be throwing it into Morphman, and you know, getting information dialogue from it, so that's good as well. In fact, Morphman, I'm almost done with the current book. Like right now I'm still going through the words that I'm not really learning words from Kimi no Na wa. It's just that a majority of the words are coming from Kimi no Na wa because it was the most recent book I added, and then I'll be adding around 40, which is actually a really good drama. So I look forward to that, and then get 100 words there. And the next one's going to be 5 centimeters a second. That one, I don't think I'll be getting its. That was a slow book, but it shouldn't be too bad getting some words from there. I don't. That book didn't like have a big impact on me compared to something. And I realized also getting some of these sentences from like Zero no Skyrim, I was like, I forgot a lot of that book. Because I read it like over a year and a half ago, and you know, so some of those scenes just like went, I don't care, because I've never really watched it after that. I read it, and it's the only time I have like any type of interaction with it is in the audiobook, you know, on my whole replays. But yeah, I'll just slowly be adding words to Morphman, you know. Right now, I'll be up 500th word is today. I'll be, you know, every book, so I have like 10, 11, 12. So I think, you know, I just got to catch up to 16. I think this is the 16th Let's Read. I think. Maybe I should keep a list down. And then with that, 16th Let's Read, then with that, let me think. Yeah, when I caught up, so like I said, by the time we get up to 2,000 words, that means I've thrown my 20th Let's Read into Morphman. Hopefully I'll be much more caught up, and I know like I might then start again with the Tango, or I might decide, you know, let me hold off on Tango for about a little bit longer. You know, whatever. Maybe I want to say, hey, just hold off until about 7,000. Who knows? Who cares? It's all good. And but yeah, and then slow down on Morphman and do Tango at the same time. It's like, okay, I'll keep the Morphman equal with my Let's Reads, do it about 100 words in Morphman, and you know, and then to slowly keep going through Tango about 10 words at a time, you know, for it, especially N2. And then when I'm done with that, I'll slowly be going through Shinkansen Master for N2. You know, just not take it seriously, just take it slow, and yeah, just have fun. Like, I'm not in a rush. And doing these daily Let's Reads is really what's pushing my level up there. And, you know, the studying, it just letting me catch some stuff that, you know, isn't sticking. And yeah, I can imagine Yeah, for my level to get up there, I just need to read a lot more, keep reading and reading and reading. I get the feeling like if I took a test, again, I'm already in N3, I do know that. I'm low N2, so I just need to climb the N2 levels, and then, but eventually I'll be beyond the N2 level. Now just worry about the N1 level, and that's a lot further track. Like, you know, if you've done the numbers, you know, the amount of effort you took for N3 and N2 together combined is what you need for N1. You know, the amount of vocabulary you need, the amount of kanji you would need. You know, that's just to pass the test if you wanted to pass the test. You know, that's how much effort. But I'm not looking to pass a test. I'm looking to increase my Japanese ability, and to the point where if I looked at that test and it's just be a simple thing to do, like I pass it without worrying about it, I would like to have that ability. You know, barely passing, that that just means like on a bad day you would fail it. Then you don't really have the ability. You know, it doesn't mean you just lucked out. You don't want it to where you've lucked out on a test. You want it to where that test is not a problem. Like you cannot, the test is at a level where it cannot gauge your skills. You want it to be at that point. You know, right now it would definitely gauge it's above my skills, so it's a good way to gauge like that. Oh yeah, I've got a lot more to gain. Just something to consider. It's a bit like, what would be a good example? You know, gauging fighting skills. You know, you can't, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist with a kindergartner. You know, the kindergartner cannot. Those are bad. You don't gauge each other's skills with those two together. You know, you got to use separate comparable levels to do that. My complete chain of thought on that is way off. Okay, I've talked enough. This has been fun. This is a very fun drama. This is a very fun anime. I now understand why. You know, you always see the memes of this show, mainly from the first 2 seasons. I'm noticing, like, I don't recall too much from later seasons, but definitely from the first season, there's a lot of memes that pop up, and they're really cool. You know, like the one with Mustang was crying. What was another one? That was the main one. Was him crying. Maybe, yeah, I guess maybe, yeah, it is. But there's, it's really good. Oh yeah, the monk, Chimera. Yeah, so the girl being merged with the dog. Yeah, that also pops up as well when they talk about Father's Day. What else was it? Yeah, I think those are the 2 main memes you see popping around now and again. Actually, though, I did post something on. I posted like yesterday on the Fullmetal Alchemist subreddit a picture because of the scene where Winley hits Edward hits Edward with the wrench because he's saying, "Hey, I'm probably gonna break my arm." So she gets all upset, cocks him, but then the little ghost is popping up, so Nisa no Tamashi, or something like that. And then, anyway, I posted a picture like that because I thought it was like a very funny scene that cracked me up. And yeah, people agreed, they remember that scene. That was like there's lots of funny scenes here. They just, you got some really serious imagery, but at the same time, you got this really goofy shit going down. And I think it's good because I've seen there's the opposite. You've got Attack on Titan, and it is just heavy the whole way through. It just feels like, and it's getting darker. Like the next season is gonna be like super dark. It does not let up. So it doesn't have that emotional release. So maybe that makes it's still a great anime and whatnot. Actually, a great story. I like the manga better than the anime, but you got a lot more. This anime could also be that same way. I mean, I don't think it'd be. You could actually edit it and take out a lot of the humorous bits, and it would just be dark. And I think it would maybe not be as fun to enjoy, but it would still be a great story. Because I'll say it like with Nisei no Kizuna would be another example. The drama was a lot of fun. There was lots of humor in the drama, a lot. It was like, it felt like a comedy, but it got, it had very dark bits to it. The book, very little comedy, but it was still a great book. I mean, a really good book to read. Very easy read, and by the way, I recommend it. But it's just the mood is different than the drama, even though it's the same story. And like the ending is basically the same, but whereas it makes you like slap, like watching TV show. I'm almost slapping my forehead like because of when they're fighting over the gun and all that. But then in the book, it's like there's no gunfight. It's nothing. He just jumps. That's it. Done. Yeah. I'll call it a day. Thank you all very much. It's Nuke Marine, and I'll see you when I see you. Tomorrow I'll keep doing this. I think by the time I'm first half of Harry Potter, I'll start doing Let's Reads of the news. Starting off these Let's Reads for about up to the 30-minute mark, just reading the news from Yahoo News. So videos, transcripts of the news videos, how's that? And then going into the whatever I happen to be reading at the time. We'll try forming that. And what I might do, since I can't get it to work yet, maybe it's I need a pro account or something, but I can't make the highlights. It's not letting me create highlights from these videos. So if that's the case, I can start doing highlights and then making those available on YouTube. I think it would be kind of cool. Like, here's a Let's Read of the news. And I think people would actually have a lot of fun watching that, because it's, you can actually, it's something that can be current, and it gives you a reason to watch it, because you're like seeing, like, I'll probably actually have more reason to talk about it and play it and whatnot, and I'm not as worried about, definitely not as worried about copyright when it comes to that. Alright, but that'll be something later for me to think about. Anyway, thank you all very much. It's Nuke Marine, and see you later. Oh, let me say thanks for watching. And Mizanon, thanks for watching also. Thanks for all the comments. And thanks for watching. All one viewer.